So, the season 7 finale of Bowser's Koopalings has started, Liv and Larry. And the plot is interesting. So, some Larry look-alike has started doing all kinds of bad things around the kingdom, and no one knows whether or not it's actually Larry, because Larry himself doesn't seem to know what's happening. And Bowser ends up putting Larry in the dungeon until they can prove it's not Larry. And Parallel Larry has green eyes, while normal Larry has blue eyes. And it's honestly weird that no one realized that while they were talking to him. Apparently Ludwig did, but he didn't tell them, which honestly feels just a bit out of character for him. Just a bit. In all honesty, when this episode had its sneak peeks revealed, I saw the scene of Larry and Ludwig in the mall, but I actually didn't pay attention to the fact that Larry had green eyes. But Parallel Larry ends up getting attacked by the shadows because they think he's the real Larry. And when he reveals himself as the Parallel Larry, he ends up forming an alliance with the shadows. And for the first time, we end up seeing Edgar's son, Kyle, who was promoted with the Freeze Flame 22 auditions. And I have to say, he does not seem interesting right now. He has almost no weight on the plot for this particular part, maybe the next one, but certainly not this one. And at the same time, the normal Larry ends up getting out of the castle and running away. And the shadows take over. We learn that the Elite Trio was actually part of the shadows this whole time, which was just kind of a bullshit subversion of expectations. Like, I think this is the whole reason they came back into existence for Season 7, because Freeze was planning to do this with them. But I don't see it, honestly. But we then get a whole scene of them getting each and every one of the Koopalings. The Shadows capture all the Koopalings while they're searching for Larry. And Larry eventually ends up encountering his parallel self because his parallel self is getting a reward to catch Larry. And this is really where we finally start to get into the plot. The Larrys have an honestly really good fight scene. And I like how Parallel Larry does not give in to Normal Larry no matter how much Normal Larry calls him out. Although, what's confusing me is all the random Larrys from other universes that seem to be showing up right at the end. Like, what are they gonna do with this? In all honesty, this episode was nothing like what the thumbnail made me believe it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like the two Larrys teaming up and then the rest of the cast has to chase them down, or the shadows got involved in some way, but no. Parallel Larry and Normal Larry don't even interact until the end of the episode. And Bowser got turned into a stone statue. And everyone else is trapped in an orb. I really don't know where we're gonna go from here. If anything, Bowser's Koopalings might be able to stop after this two-parter, for all we know. This could be the grand defeat of the Shadows. And if not, I'm pretty sure this two-parter is at least going to write the Elite Trio out of the show. And one thing I will give this episode is that it doesn't feel as filler-heavy. One of Toad Town Academy's biggest problems was that the first part seemed to be trying way too hard to reach the 1 hour mark. And with how long this episode took to come out, I thought it was for sure gonna be over an hour. But it was actually just under an hour, despite taking over a month after its announcement to release. But I can't really say this two-parter is good. like, there's not much that's really wowing me in here so far. There are good aspects, but right now it's just leaving me interested to see where it goes. But it's definitely not bad. It's closer to good than it is to bad. So, I'd say this is a decent opener for the season finale. Okay, there were some things I didn't say in my last recording that I want to say now. First off, I don't know what role the flashback showing Larry's actual father was meant to play in this episode. Like, is it going to come back into play during the second part? And also, it's weird how bad the tension between Ludwig and Travis specifically in this episode is. Like, Ludwig's never really that fond of anyone, but his tension with Travis was honestly kind of confusing here. So, I think that is all I have to say for this.